George Floyd's life being snuffed out was needless and a travesty. While the country seems to be divided on racial and political lines, there's one thing that we can all agree on. Reforms are needed to increase accountability and transparency from our country's law enforcement agencies to prevent rogue actors from these types of travesties. However, over the past few weeks, mobs under the guise of peaceful protesters have desecrated and destroyed dozens of monuments and statues. These extremists, acting as tyrants of the night, are determined to rewrite our history. In their rush to judgment and condemnation of so much that came before, they have even destroyed statues of George Washington, Ulysses S. Grant, and now tonight are threatening to tear down the 1876 Freedmen's Memorial to Abraham Lincoln, the Emancipation Monument. This monument, right here in Lincoln Park, just east of the United States Capitol, was one of the first memorials in Washington honoring Abraham Lincoln. It was dedicated on April the 14th, 1876, with an oration by none other than Frederick Douglass, a freed slave. While peaceful protests are an American right and all voices deserve to be heard, violence and destruction should not be tolerated. Although there is continual need to examine our history and reevaluate our social norms, you cannot rewrite the American story by removing a historic statue nor defacing a church. If you want to influence the American story, pick up a ballot, write your congressman, have a dialogue, get involved. Why can't a statue of Rosa Parks or Barack Obama share the same park with Teddy Roosevelt or Andrew Jackson? This is a lesson in how far we have come. The American story is unfinished. Tearing down our history loses the very lessons necessary not to repeat the darkest parts of our past. George Orwell once said, "The most effective way to destroy a people is to deny and obliterate their own understanding of their own history." As we reassess our shared experience, let us learn from the past in order to make a brighter and better future. America's history is imperfect, but projecting contemporary norms retroactively does a disservice to the sacrifice of the great men and women like President Lincoln and all those who fought for equality and progress. We must not erase our history. We need to learn from it. This is one of the promises and the highest callings of Americans.